Hello and welcome to the commentary for On the Good Earth, which was my 2017 Christmas special. So we start with this news broadcast from 1968, which is pretty much shot for shot recreated of the original broadcast, which I found whilst I was researching about Apollo 8. And then this footage here of the countdown is the actual footage of the countdown from Apollo 8. And the voiceover is also a recreation, voiced by me.
3, 2, 1, 0. This is it. We have commit. We have liftoff at 7:51 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We wish them good luck and Godspeed.
Now here, I liked the idea of using the snow to transition like the Husband's River song does. I also liked having the beginning of the title sequence in 4:3 until the clock opens up and pushes it into 16:9. I thought that was quite nice because I wanted to keep the original broadcast in its original aspect ratio rather than modernise it. And this episode introduces a new theme, new titles. Yeah. On the Good Earth. And then we cut to NASA, which is a reused shot from Empress of Mars. And various shots of NASA. And then we cut to the actual set.
Alan?
Sir?
Alan, we have a new guy.
So, the voice of Alan is Ryan Wasson.
Is it okay if I leave him?
I discovered him whilst working on Matt Clark's Alamar Protection Agency series. I wanted to have someone with a legitimate American accent for the main
Come on in then, Mr. Smith.
NASA worker, so I approached him and he agreed to voice the character.
Hello.
So here we have the Doctor infiltrating himself into NASA,
I'm Mr. Allen.
as the Doctor would
You'll
do,
be shadowing Mr. Allen for the rest of the night.
obviously using his alias of Mr.
I'm sure
Smith.
we'll be fine. Good.
So, you're British?
Sure.
I always quite liked this exchange. It just felt very 12th Doctor to me.
Glasgow, probably.
Probably.
So, how long have they been up there?
Almost 69 hours.
All going well so far then?
When I researched this episode, I found out that at 69 hours into the flight,
Spoke too soon.
the craft passed behind the moon,
Excuse me,
Apollo
what
8,
are you doing?
and lost signal for a few hours.
That's what I said.
So I was interested in making this Christmas special about an event that had actually happened in real life, and there were mysterious circumstances around it. And I saw these few hours where there was no signal from Apollo 8 as an opportunity to make that into a story.
But
They've been taken by something.
how could you possibly know that?
Magic. Oh, and I don't actually work here. That would be a bit
And here we have a good man coming in.
Whoa, so why are you here?
Never mind that. We need to get those astronauts back. So if you'll excuse me, I'm going to get on that right away.
I've always quite liked this little bit here as
Who
well.
are you?
I'm the Doctor.
Right, now, can we please, for the love of God, try and get that signal back?
Now this is a scene I don't really like that much. It looked well on the page, but I don't think I translated it to screen very well. It's supposed to be that the car
I love doing that. So much joy to be
was a disguise for the TARDIS, and he parked it in the car park.
Anyway,
Um,
space.
Yeah, I could live without
We
it.
need to try and get the signal back.
But sir, they've passed behind the moon, and the chances are they won't get the signal back.
So the voice of the worker there is Harvey Luca, who has also worked on various other episodes for me as well.
Right, let's see what's on the dark side, shall we? Because I've got a
TARDIS scenes before I built a new set were always a real pain in the ass because I only had pictures to work with because I was not going to build the 2014 TARDIS set. So it was always difficult to film scenes in the TARDIS and make them actually look good, and I don't think I've done it very well many times.
Too easy.
So now we're on the cyber ship, as you're about to see from the cyber head that the TARDIS has landed next to. And I really like the music there. This was probably one of the first episodes I really filmed out of sync.
I'm here now.
Because all of the spaceship stuff was filmed together, all of the NASA stuff was filmed together, any TARDIS bits were all filmed together, which is rare for me because up until this point I'd always filmed it in order of the scenes, which looking back is a really bad way to do it, and since this episode I've mostly done scene groups together
Hello again.
and then filed it, whereas I just used to film it in order and then work my way through the images and clips I had.
You've got 3 astronauts on your ship.
He says 3 astronauts, but there is only 1 astronaut suit there.
Rarest ones you could harvest.
Correct.
But you haven't done anything with them yet.
We do not currently have the capacity.
Is that your way of saying you don't have the parts or the power?
This is the first actual Cyberman story I did as well,
Either.
because considering they're my favourite villains, monsters in the show,
Bring me up to date.
I have never actually written a story for them up until this point. There's one other Cyberman story that I've made, but I didn't write it. And I knew that Series 5 was going to be my final series. And even though this isn't episode 1 technically, it is pretty much episode 1 because it sets up the whole Cyber Planner
You're just
arc.
wasting your time. Cyber Planner was lost.
So I knew I wanted a massive cyber story to carry through Series 5. So yeah, this sets all of that up, and it gave me a chance to use different Cyberman models and designs and play about with my interpretation of the Cybermen as well, which you'll see in the Game of Life and the finale as well, which I'm working on at the moment actually.
Wait, we're getting 4 life signs, but they're outside Apollo 8, sir. There seems to be something else up there, some other kind of craft.
But that's not possible.
So what about the shiny boys over here then?
The cyber design had to be simplified in order to maximize our resources.
Yeah, I like the reason that there's all different versions of the Cybermen, that just they don't have the parts to make better ones. So the Mondasian 10th Planet Cybermen are there because there's enough parts to make what they need to be a Cyberman, but there's not enough parts to actually give them a full suit of armour and things like that, which I think is quite an interesting
have them. They're red.
way that the
Our
Cybermen
men
will
are
use
back.
anything they have, even if it means they're weaker versions of themselves.
That's the trouble when I'm in a room full of buttons. I just can't help myself. See?
I quite like the music here, and this, I know it's not portrayed very well, but the buttons is supposed to be magnetising their feet to the floor so they can't move, and I wish I'd edited that a bit better to show it, or maybe add a line that explains it.
Top it all off. I'm going to send your ship as far away from here as possible. Oh, and before I forget, I'll take that piece of the cyber planner with me. Ta-ra! And for the final trick of the night. Job well done, I
I
think.
kind of wish I'd made a better effect shot for that as well, but it's okay. Now this is probably one of the most sweet scenes I've done.
What did
It's
you do?
just
Oh, you know.
so
Just worked a bit of the
simple,
old
but I
magic.
think it works really nicely just
Who are
to
you?
end the episode.
Doctor.
But who are you?
Just a friend. Here to help. Call me Father Christmas if it makes you feel more comfortable.
Well, Doctor, whoever you are, whatever you did, thank you.
Don't mention it. Consider it a Christmas present. Anyway, it's Christmas Eve, and I believe you are in for a very special broadcast. One that nobody will ever forget.
Now, the voices you're about to hear here are the actual voices of the crew of Apollo 8. And whilst researching into the mission and everything, when the signal returned after that it was lost behind the moon, they gave this reading of Genesis from the Bible. So I thought that would be a really nice way to end it, and also gives the episode its title, because before it was called On the Good Earth, there were several titles. There was one that was Orbit, An Atmosphere for Miracles, Christmas at the Moon. But after hearing this broadcast, I decided to go with On the Good Earth, because I think that ties the very nature of the story together.
And the evening and the morning were the first day. And God said, let there be a firmament in the midst of the waters, and let it divide the waters from the waters.
I was originally going to cut this speech down a bit, because it is a good sort of 2.5 minutes long, but it didn't feel right to cut it, so I've left it as the full length that it was when it was broadcast, and I think it's quite nice to just listen to, and it ends the episode really nice.
Let the waters under the heaven be gathered together into one place, and let the dry land appear, and it was so. And God called the dry land earth, and the gathering together of the waters called he seas. And God saw that it was good. And from the crew of Apollo 8, we close with good night, good luck, a Merry Christmas, and God bless all of you on the good earth.
And there's the episode's title. And now we have a very short coming soon trailer, because at this point I had hardly filmed anything from the series.
Right now,
And actually half the shots in this coming soon trailer have either been refilmed since or just not used, because it was a really rushed, cobbled together coming soon trailer, which is why it's so quick really, and it was just to show some of the monsters coming in the series and tease the Doctor's regeneration a little bit. And here are credits, all Christmasified again, but yeah, that was On the Good Earth. So I hope you've enjoyed listening to the commentary. I had a lot of fun making the episode, and I'll see you on the next one.